Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast and now game 1 in a series between Storm's Polt, CM Storm Polt versus Team Liquid's Taeja here on Neoplanet SLE. You can see on the top right hand side of the map, Taeja is spawning as the red Terran. Meanwhile, on the bottom left we do have Polt, formerly of Prime, now playing under the name Storm here as the blue Terran. Now, Terran versus Terran, one of those matchups where games do tend to go very, very long, depending on the different styles. Now, just because that this is a mirror match doesn't mean that we will be seeing very similar builds. Generally, the two variations that you'll most likely see are either pure bio, pure mech, or a combination of mech and bio, and basically positioning. Siege tanks, however, will be used even in a bio composition, and this is one of those things where I do wish that the Warhound was back in Heart of the Swarm, as the Warhound was a very, very effective unit in handling siege tank lines. Now, what are we going to be seeing from both of these players? It looks like a 12 racks here, and no crazy proxy barracks at all. Both of these players very well established and looking to build a very standard opening. You already see though, Polt is doing a bit of a variation, opting to go for faster gas. Taeja, on the other hand, has not taken his gas and looks like he'll be going for a delayed gas, it appears. So it is going to be a delayed gas, and I am curious as to why Taeja did decide to delay his gas. He's not going to have his refinery up nearly as quickly. That means he'll probably be about 30 to 50 seconds behind in terms of the factory. However, he should have more minerals, and with those additional minerals, should be able to set up a command center down here with little to no problem much more quickly as well. You can see Polt is going to be training up a Marine. SCV has come up the ramp, takes a look around, pretty much realizes, hey, you know what? I do not want to be too close by, as that Marine is going to get shooed away. All this SCV wanted to do was take a little bit of damage and see if it was a Reaper versus a Marine. That SCV now on its way back home, as we should be establishing up a command center momentarily. Meanwhile, Polt opted to go for a bit of a faster factory, as I mentioned, because of that faster gas. Meanwhile, Taeja is still a little bit behind, but it looks like he's going to be going for a command center first. So far, though, we can see that the barracks has been placed down. That's what Taeja has been using his gas on for the majority, and now the command center should be coming in. We see that there's already about 100 gas in play for Taeja, or will soon to be 100 gas, but he has still yet to do anything with it. We should be seeing a factory now come in as well. We may see some double training of Marines while this factory is underway. And as all of this does come to light, I am still curious as to what Polt is trying to do. You can see that he has not yet placed down his command center. He's going about this in a completely different manner, hoping to put some pressure in the mid portion of the game, perhaps get some early kills with a Cloaked Banshee. Now, Cloaked Banshee is very, very effective as long as you don't have detection. Terran players do benefit from having orbital commands. 2 orbital commands means twice the number of scans, as long as you are not trying to constantly spam them out. However, Polt will be a bit delayed in getting Cloak. He did delay this refinery a little bit, so he's not going to have the necessary 300 minerals and... wait, what was that? No, yeah, I forgot. I believe they actually lowered the casting or the research on Cloak. No way to really confirm that, but I believe that this new patch did lower the research on Cloak. I'll have to double check this for you guys, but I thought he would need 300 gas. He didn't. It looked like he only needed about 250 for both the gas and also the Banshee there. So yes, we are going to be going into much more varied styles of harassment, as opposed to Hellions and Hellbats, which were the main style of harassment for quite some time. Oh, SCV going to try to make its way in. It looks like it will be able to sneak right in there, and both of these players are going for very similar strategies. However, it more looks like to Polt that Taeja was trying to go for Cloaked Banshees. You can see that this tech lab is spinning and researching, but he's really training I thought he was training a Raven. Okay, never mind. He is also training up a Banshee as well. This Banshee will arrive to the party a bit early, as we already see Polt now going for a Raven of his a Raven here. So yes, it is going to be an earlier Raven. Banshee needs to be extremely careful. Gets off an easy shot there. And now we are going to be dancing around. All right, so that Banshee is going to be getting in some easy shots. Oh, there goes a Marine. How much damage can it do? And will it all add up in time? You can see that that Banshee is doing some fancy flying there, as we are now looking at a missile turret about to come into play. All right, let's take a look. Another Marine now taken down. Oh, the missile turret is now up, but the sight is just beyond the edge there. And yes, Polt is getting a fair number of kills here. Is it gonna add up to even more? Oh, look there. Is it gonna add and get even more kills? It looks like yes. This kill is already up to 8, as we now see a Banshee come in from the far side. However, the Raven is already in position. That faster, slightly faster. Oh, the energy on that Banshee is running low. Oh, it's going to go down. One more shot is going to go down. No, at 2 hit points is able to escape. Meanwhile, we can see that a Raven is coming out chasing after that Banshee. That Banshee did not get nearly as many kills, only at 3. And it looks like Cloak was canceled after he realized his opponent had a Raven in the air. This Banshee already getting up to 14 kills. Not that many worker kills, though. In fact, Taeja with the one with the superior worker kills, and that's going to be a bigger telltale sign. Polt now needs to repair this one Banshee and get it back into action. One Viking going to chase after this Banshee here. One more round of attacks. There it goes. And that Banshee is a little bit more wear for tear there, as there is an 800 resource difference. However, Taeja does have a 5-worker advantage. You got to remember that this command center and orbital command was much, much earlier in play. So, if you take a look at the army, Polt has a window of opportunity to deal some damage, while Taeja is trying to just improve his economic advantage. I don't believe it's going to be all too good, though, as we can see that Polt is coming in with 2 siege tanks, twice the number of siege tanks, but there are also Ravens and Vikings in the air as well. Both sides are in position. This Widowmine did get a quick kill there, as we now see double siege tanks on the low ground here. Very well played. And what is going to happen? We could perhaps see a Seeker missile launch its way over. Oh, there's the Seeker missile onto a siege tank. Double Seeker missile all the way. What does it mean? A dead siege tank. Down it goes. So beautifully played there. Double Seeker missile. Remember, Seeker missiles no longer need the upgrade, as we now see a Banshee come in for a bit more kills, up to 17 kills there. And this Banshee will now be retreating. However, this Banshee is the same Banshee that was repaired moments ago. So its cost effectiveness a little bit more, and you have to argue it for just a little bit more, because it is more than the 150 minerals and 100 gas when it first came out of that starport. Now, Taeja is defending this beautifully. Even though he has lost a bit more, he is still, strangely enough, in the lead. He has the Harvester advantage. His supply is a little bit less than his opponent. This is actually very confusing that this side over here and this side over here are flipped. What happens if I control exit? All right, okay, that makes it a little bit better. There we go. And blue is now on the bottom. All right, that makes a lot more sense for me. Anyways, Polt now running around here. He does have a fair number of siege tanks, Marines. Oh, gonna go ahead and clean up some of those Marines there. No real damage dealt, as we do see this cloaked Banshee finally taken down. Taeja does have a lot of energy on that Raven for Seeker missiles. That's going to be very important there, as we're now looking at Marines and siege tanks. All right, Marines and siege tanks making their way over. One SCV on the low ground here, as we are both sides expanding at about the same time. All right, this massive army of Marines and siege tanks gonna catch that SCV right there. Oh, there's a scanner sweep. It sees that there is an army trying to get in position, but it's not gonna get there in time, as they are now doing target practice up against that orbital command. Orbital command is taking a fair amount of damage, but the Marines are all in position. Oh, can I get that one? Oh, yes. One Marine stands there. He doesn't jump on a grenade. He just happily waves at a Seeker missile coming towards him, as opposed to trying to run out of range. siege tanks normally cannot outrun a Seeker missile because they need to unsiege, and then by the time they're unsieging, that missile could very well be on its way. One of the easy counters for Terran to try and deal with mass siege tanks. The longer the game goes with these Ravens in play, the better it will be for both players, because Ravens constantly regenerate energy in order to be just effective and destroy more units. We are looking at a supply depot down over here, a nice little scout farm, so to speak. Marines now running back once more as Polt and Taeja, both of them are pretty much just trying to get a good feel for the other. No one's investing in some sort of crazy strategy as of yet. Both of them are just macroing up a whole bunch of units. You can see Taeja is going into a very, very heavy bio play. He does have 5 barracks, but he's not training from all of them since he is supply blocked at 137. Meanwhile, Polt is training from, I believe, 6 barracks very, very effectively. He is actually managing his supply and army much better, as Polt now moves forward with a whole bunch of Marines. These Marines should just be inching their way forward instead, and then taking down the rest of those units. One Marine, a little bit of a death trip there. As you can see, a whole bunch of Marines were cleaned up right before they got their combat shield. Taeja losing out big in that fight. All right, you can see, siege tanks are going to get in position. Are they going to be able to blast back at each other? And it looks like the siege tanks are just out of range on the other side. Viking now being brought over as well. The Raven could return the favor with those Seeker missiles. Taeja looks like he is ready to do just exactly that. Wait, there it goes. There's one. There's a huge hit, and it looks like another huge hit there. And yes, some more damage dealt once again. So these Seeker missiles being played in an absolute awesome fashion, and this is still looking good. If you guys are wondering where this replay came from, this is coming from WCS North American Playoffs, I believe. They finally released some more replays for me, and this game is just StarCraft at such a high level, being played by some of the best players in the world. And these Marines are just getting absolutely destroyed. All right, Marines now coming back over here. You can see one getting shot there on the high cliff, making sure to see if anything is really going on. Command center is already being constructed. It will be lifted off and landed in moments. Meanwhile, Taeja setting up a new command center here. Not exactly sure where it's going to be positioned. The Marines are 1-1 compared to 2-1. That Marine's just going to be sitting off over there as well, as we see one Marine off in the corner, hoping to gain sight of when this command center or orbital command is landed. No, that is just going to be a straight up command center being built. No, that's actually being lifted off from over here. So long distance traveling for this one command center. Marines now looking to back away once more. We are looking at near maximum supply for both of these armies. 199 compared to 182, and that means that we are going to be going into engagements now. Both players don't want to sit on a large bank. They want to trade more efficiently and than their opponent, and then be able to rebuild so that they will eventually have that army supply lead. This massive number of Marines and siege tanks on the far side here, it looks like they're going to come straight in. Oh, there's the scanner sweep, revealing all of those units there. There is siege tanks already in position. There you go. The siege tanks are now getting in position as well. Siege tanks blasting away once more, and there goes some. All right, it didn't take very long for all of those siege tanks to get destroyed. Meanwhile, one Marine off over here going to get surrounded by SCVs. We're looking at Siege Tank Wars 2013 with no Ravens nearby in order to stop some of those siege tanks pushes. All right, Marines are in position here. You can see there is a large line of siege tanks and Marines on the far side here. Polt having a tremendous advantage at this point, pretty much occupying 2/3 of the map. But just like any conqueror will tell you, having too much territory can be bad. The more territory you have to cover, the more your forces are going to be split into multiple locations. You can see that there's a force off over here and a good large-sized force off over here as well. The siege tanks, the Marines all just going to get destroyed. You can see more Marines getting dropped into here. Beautiful, beautiful push as all these Marines are trying to catch up. It looks like there's a handful of Marines that are left, and that is easily cleaned up by Taeja. Meanwhile, you can see there is still a handful, well, not a handful, that is, 4 control rows of Marine plus an extra, almost 50 Marines, or I think it's 37, if I trying to remember right off the bat. And now what is Polt doing except building mass orbital commands? This is a strategy that Terran players often use to try to free up supply. A lot of people feel that it's a little bit overpowered, since Terran players do not need SCVs to mine minerals. They can just use orbital commands that don't cost supply. But then again, Zerg players can build a whole bunch of evolution chambers and spine crawlers, and then to free up supply, and then cancel them to get into 220, 230 supply. All right, Polt is in trouble here. Oh, there is a Viking. 1 siege tank will get taken down. 2-0 upgrades compared to 2-0 upgrades. We are dead even so far, as these siege tanks will get will perhaps get pulled back here. So Polt not wanting to lose all of these Marines, but Taeja now coming in on the far side, on the bottom right hand side. He's going to clean up all of these Marines very easily, and all we see now is one planetary fortress. That planetary fortress does not have, it will have the Terran building armor and the high sec auto tracking for an additional +1 range, giving it the range of, I believe, 7. And then missile turrets will have a range of 8. This is a huge turnaround here. This planetary fortress off over here is going to be very difficult to take down. It will not have the Terran building armor in time, though, as we are looking at a little bit of a trade here. There are siege tanks in position, planetary fortress, and here's the engagement. All right, let's take a look. Planetary fortress needs to be repaired. Is it being repaired? No, it is not. Gets up to 7 kills, quickly destroyed. I believe if it was repaired, it would have taken down many more Marines. I'm not quite sure what happened there, as a mining base is completely lost in a matter of moments. All right, all the Marines are trying to run back up onto the high ground here. More SCVs perhaps need to be trained. This needs to be repaired. There's a planetary fortress, and there's a huge pop right there. 5 kills in a matter of seconds, as the autosec tracking is now done. Terran building armor needs a little bit more time to finish. SCV, what's going on? Oh, there is one lone Marine right here, which will catch sight of all of these medevacs trying to do a drop. That's going to be a huge play, as the Marines perhaps going to try and catch up to it. No, not going to be able to. There is still the planetary fortress getting absolutely pummeled. On the bottom right side here, though, it looks like Taeja has lost all of his siege tanks, and this planetary fortress now going to get taken down. All right, all 2 of the 3 medevacs taken down, as the Marines were able to get there in time. You can see now, the 3rd medevac taken down as well, as the Marines are just going after the reactors, hoping that they fall. 1 reactor down means that it will hit production just a little bit. You can see now more Marines are showing up. Meanwhile, a bit of a push here. Planetary fortress siege tanks are up on the high ground, quickly taken down here, and Polt may have overextended himself and is now losing much of that ground he worked so hard to gain. Taeja winning this war of attrition. SCVs not even bothering to repair the planetary fortress, as that planetary fortress is getting to about 1100 hit points, but now out of sight, out of mind. Marines and siege tanks coming in from the far side. Oh, there is some multiple Raven action right there, trying to split between the 2. Is it enough to kill both? No, it is not. Both of them are now down to 10 hit points. That is a huge play there. And if this Raven gets one more shot off on this guy, he might actually be able to destroy all 3 siege tanks. Meanwhile, back over here, some more scanner sweeps still coming down. This Raven needs to get another attack here in just a second. SCVs have taken an absolute, oh, this could be bad again. There's the attack. Are we going to see enough energy? We do have enough energy. That siege tank could get taken down alongside 2 more there. Those are all in the red, as we are now mining on the bottom right-hand side of the map. It is being stripped mine. All right. Oh, come on. I wanted to see that siege tank. Oh, it might happen. It might happen. Oh, gets picked up in the medevac. Beautifully played by Taeja to save that siege tank and his brethren from near certain death. Beautifully done, as now Taeja being gutsy enough to mine from the gold mineral patches in the center portion of the map. No reason to strip mine them at all, as they would just mine at the same rate anyways. All right, you can see siege tanks are all right there. Both sides doing a little bit of a battle here. The Marines now trying to push forward. Is it going to be enough? It looks as though, no, it is not enough. Still a handful of Marines and siege tanks ready to go. More and more units coming in from the far side, as Taeja now a little bit behind here, but he is trying to split and was trying to attack a split force of siege tanks. Many of them were still in siege mode, as we are now going to see a massive push come in again. Taeja going to lose the rest of these siege tanks here, perhaps even a couple of SCVs, maybe even the orbital command. Orbital command now down to 200 hit points. It goes down as blood and guts spill all over the place here on Neo Planet S. I don't know about you, but don't eat the snow. Anyways, let's go ahead, come back over here at the 3 o'clock position, nearly mined out. 12 o'clock position, nearly mined out. And Taeja is now in trouble. I don't believe he has enough gas in the tank to finish off this fight here, as Polt is playing so extremely well. A Viking almost getting shot down there, but the Marines unable to catch up once more. Handful of Marines on this side of the map. You can see a new orbital command quickly being lifted off and landed. 194 versus 123. And Taeja, with all of his good trading, 1 or 2 bad engagements, and this has now turned into an absolute bloodbath. Ravens now the choice unit for Taeja. Always happens when you go into a very heavy Marine fight. You have a lot of gas saved up at the end. Almost 3,000 gas for Taeja while he is training up double Ravens. And if he continues to train up Ravens, he may have enough to try and fight back. But that is still going to be extremely risky, especially if we don't even have the Caduceus reactors online. We can see now the Marines trying to engage. Oh, that's a lot of siege tanks. All of them getting into that siege mode, blasting away once more. It looks as though the Caduceus reactors are not researched at all, and now this is just going to be looking into an A-move victory for Polt. Polt taking game 1 in this series, as Taeja just was not able to get enough of a foothold. Even though he did win some early economic battles, the army battle that Polt was able to do, taking down a large number of Marines unexpectedly, really put a damper on any sort of drop play that Taeja may have had in mind. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1.